Hey guys, how's it going? The MC Rad here with a interesting little deck profile coming from Dr. Chinstrap here with me.
What's up, guys?
Um, so you said you took this to locals 3 times now? Was that?
Yeah, I I've I've taken my locals 3 times this list. Um, we play mostly meta. Um, I've also like gone on Dueling Book and I've went on big win streaks. Like I've went on like 10 match win streaks with this list. It's pretty interesting. Um, if you know people playing Zoo Eldlich, like I feel like this just beats them in the grind game. Um, it has a good matchup against Drytron because you're playing Eldlich cards. Um, just a really solid list overall, and pretty spicy reasonings behind the choices I made.
So yeah, well then let's get into it. So first off, we're gonna start with the live twins here. So we're playing two Kiss a Kill, two Lila, three home, three password, and one channel. Um, I've
Okay.
noticed the set rotation here, so I assume you're using that with the other part
Yeah.
of the engine.
Yeah. Starting with the twins. I mean, so at first glance at the list, you're like, okay, you got a lot of normal summons going on here, but really the whole idea of the twins, if you draw them by themselves, yeah, you can normal summon them and get that engine rocking. But what you're really trying to accomplish is you want to find both engines. So we're maxing out on the homes and the secret passwords, which is basically just another way to find home. Um, so the home, it does lock you into evil twins from the extra deck, but that's fine. I mean, they're good enough. They're basically Dridents and a draw one, so they're cool. And with the evil eyes, you don't actually need to go into your extra deck to do any of that stuff. Um, and yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The channel is solid. It's there for the set rotation, but it's actually not a bad card. If you search it, you can search it off the password if you have extras. And I mean, it helps you recycle the engine, which can come up sometimes and be helpful. And also it makes it trickier to get the twins off the field because you can negate attacks with it. But mostly, yeah, you're going to be using that with set rotation to make. Basically, it just helps your Evil Eye engine help you find that a lot faster.
Which obviously leads us on to the Evil Eyes. So we're playing with three Zerziel, one Basilius, one of each eye, and then three Domain. Alongside obviously the set rotation and terraforming. What convinced you to play the Evil Eyes over, say, more spell and traps like Needle Sealing and Torrential Tribute?
So, Sergio is this man's a demon. I mean, this guy puts in work. Um, so basically, on summon, he's gonna search you an Evil Eye card. Um, Oddly enough, you actually normally want to find Basilius, the familiar, because he's gonna set you up the free body for link plays and dump your Celine in the graveyard. That way you can find it later. Um, but Sergio's other effect, so if he has the equip cards on him, either one, because they both become Evil Eye Celine, um, you can you can pop a special summon monster your opponent controls, and that's it's once per turn, but it's a quick effect. So you actually can get a lot of mileage off that. And when you have the eye equipped to him, he basically becomes a towers. So he's a pest to deal with. Um, you can run you can run a more pure like evil twin or a more like Eldlich kind of list thing. But I really like having him because you're gonna be forced in the grind game in a deck like this. And when you're like, both your opponent and you are kind of like in the sticks in the trenches there, like really trying to find a card, and you find your Evil Eye engine, it's really just a problem for your opponent to deal with. Um, his other effect, he has the maintenance costs to if you use his effect, you have to actually destroy one of your own cards. Um, that actually has a lot of synergy with the evil twins because a lot of times you have to link off. You have to basically like burn one of your links to go into another evil twin. Well, with Cerzil, you can just use his maintenance cost to pop the twin you're going to link off anyway. And that way, you always have a twin in graveyard to bring back and resurrect for their pop or draw. So there's some synergies that aren't immediately obvious here. Um, the Basilius, you only need one of him because you keep getting him back over and over again with the field spell. Well, because the field spell has a pop effect. I'll get into that in a second. But basically, he's there for an extender and for your main combo, which I'll show you later. Um, with the equip cards, basically, Celine is the main one you're going to try to find first. It's the one that makes you a towers, basically. Um, it's really good. You pretty much put it on them, and it makes you have to pay life points, and he gains life points permanent. He gains attack power permanently, I should say. So, I mean, it's really tough. Like, if your opponent lets all of it go through, they're gonna be in trouble. Like, they have to respect this engine, or it's just gonna be a big problem for them. The other eye, the Gorgania. So this one's kind of like your late game one. So once you're in the trenches battling and you have low life, you can find this one later. And he basically always put it on Cerzio. He'll gain the attack power difference in our life points. So you may be losing a lot of life in the battle, but at the end, it's really just going to come and swing at your opponent for with a huge beat stick. Like you really got to watch out for that because you can just steal games with this card. I've gone down to like 200 life points before and just had Sergio be gigantic and just ping for a thousand, a million. I mean, it's just so cheeky. Um, Another cool thing with a Gorgonio is it has a graveyard effect too. So sometimes you have to like pitch it for home and get additional search. So there's different ways to play with this card. And then of course you got the domain, which is just basically like the light stage of the deck. Um, it searches the evil eye monster, and if you fight an evil eye monster, you can make your opponent take the damage as well. And if you pop it or it gets destroyed in the field zone, you get to add an evil eye monster back from your graveyard. So um, it's just really good. Cards that have three effects are usually always busted. Um, So I mean, this whole engine is really nice. Also, you have the terraform and set rotation, so you can find the engine a lot faster. And you have that sneaky little trap card there, the retribution.
Did
Um,
notice that. I was going to bring that up eventually. Not a lot of people are playing around counter traps at the moment. Like the most we're really seeing is Strike for Zeus, and that's really about it. So I was very curious on this because a lot of people are starting to play back row removal, getting rid of a lot of problem cards being Eldlich.
hmm
Um,
Right. So yeah, I mean exactly right. Like so with this, if you end up opening up two Evil Eye cards, you could find this instead, and this just helps supplement your deck's weakness, right? So you don't want to get Harpy's Feather Duster, you don't want to get Cosmic, you don't want to get evenly matched, right? So having this as a searchable way to deal with those commonly played threats is really nice. And it doesn't really come up that often where they can negate it. But if you have the Selene on field, you can protect it from even being negated. So it's just kind of like that spell speed 4 kind of thing. Um, just kind of like a little extra boost. That way you don't get blown out by certain things.
yeah, it's completely respectable. It's just you don't see a lot of people doing that nowadays, just because they'd
Mm-hmm.
rather play more interactive traps. And then obviously we have the Golden Lords with the engines. Uh, Three
Yeah.
Outland, three Conquistador, three Scarlet. This one does interest me. Three Hakero. A lot of people are cutting down to two. Is there any reason you're still playing three?
Um, I was playing two, but right now, Haquero sometimes, man, at least in the current meta, like sometimes I'd rather have Haquero than Conquistador. I found myself and like getting rid of like Drytron spells, like their ritual, or getting rid of their Eldlich. You know, that DD Crow effect comes up, and there's so many graveyard centric decks right now. Like the Haquero usually puts in work a lot more, especially considering in my list, like Conquistador is really strong. Like, I mean, yeah, an additional pop, for no reason is great, right? But I already have the Sergio pop, and I already have the deck. So, if you're so a lot of times you want that a little diverse, interruption. So I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's really a meta call. Like I said before, I was only playing two. Um, so that third Aquaro could be a flex spot if you want to put in anything different. Um, but yeah, the Eldlich engine, same song and dance, really. I mean, nothing really out of the ordinary. A cool thing with the Eldlich package, with the synergies we got going on here is you can actually on turn one, you can pop your Eldland with the Evil Twin Lila. So that's the thing you can do. Um, get that search going on and then pop it to find a Sanguine later. So that's something you can do. It makes it, it's
So
not
the
immediately
similar sort of
obvious.
things that Zulich are doing when they're using Trident to pop their own Outland. You're just doing the exact
Right,
same thing here. And then obviously
right.
last off we've got three Droplets. I assume this is for Drytron and Vanities, in case you're
Oh
forced
yeah.
to go second.
Oh yeah. It's just a get out of jail free card. I mean, that I can't say enough about droplets. A cool thing you can do with droplets, obviously, you can like play cards like passwords and chain droplets, or you can say you summon a twin and they interact with it. You can sack it off with droplets and then actually get the twin effect to go off. And the cool thing about the twins are, as long as they're by themselves on the field, they can still use their effect to summon the other one. So if you summon Kiss a Kill and drops it away, you can still get the Lila, and then Lila will tag into another Kiss a Kill. So that's a cool thing you can do with it. So you can't really say enough about droplets. And with this list, you have a lot of monsters, a lot of spells, a lot of traps, so you can kind of get around whatever you need to get around. You're playing a trap deck, you can send like a like an Eldlich card or something and get around it. So I mean, there's no point in talking about how great that card is. It's just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
no, it's completely understandable. Moving on to the extra deck, we've got some pretty standard stuff for this so far. We've got Consular Pallades for the
Yeah, yeah. The he's for the Eldlich
the Lich
traps.
Traps. You've got Zeus and the Sky Cavalry. I assume Sky Cavalry's there for the live twins, just to be able to make Zeus in this
Yeah, it's
deck.
just an option there. It doesn't come up that much, but sometimes you do want the board clear and the presence. So um, it's really nice having him.
Then we have one access code. This is obviously just for pushing for game with the nightmares later on.
Hmm.
Three Kiss a Kill and two Lila. Any reason you're not playing three of both or two of both?
Um, so the more you play the deck, the more you start to realize that you pretty much want to have Kiss a Kill on your field to bring back the Lila. So you really want to summon her from the Kiss a Kill more from the extra deck, and you just really want to keep reusing the Lila in the graveyard over and over again instead of summoning her. Um, it doesn't really. I mean, you don't really need this third Lila. Um, she she's good. She's the one you want to summon because she's the one that pops. She's the one that's going to really interrupt your opponent more. But as you play the deck more, you'll start to like see like you really just want to have the third Kiss a Kill because that's the one you're going to want to go into the most. and just keep spamming back the same Lila over and over again.
That's fair enough. One Gall Gun. I assume this is just to be able to keep playing, but also with the evil twins locking you into fiends, it's just more options for you here.
Right, and sometimes you'll have like if they do crack your board and you find you'll usually bring back your Basilius from grave, so it gives you something you can go into to get twins off the board because really you want to use your twins as link fodder a lot. So to be able to go into her and negate an effect is pretty cool. And she gives you things you can do with your evil eye cards. So this gives you like a turn three kind of option, just in case you want to break their board or need something to put your Eclipse on. That's pretty much it.
Then one IP, one Phoenix, one Unicorn. Again, just two fiends that you're still able to make while playing under Live Twins.
Mm-hmm.
The IP, can you explain
It,
that choice?
the IP it comes up. It's really more like a turn three kind of thing. If because you're gonna really try to force the grind game, right? So she comes up a lot. Um, Not really in turn one though, because you're gonna lock yourself into twins. Um, Sometimes I think about cutting her for like a downer magician. That way I have an extra body for the Sky Cavalry. Um, this deck's gonna change a little bit though coming up soon when we get Blazing Vortex stuff legal. So she's gonna be a big deal when we get the Underworld Goddess card.
I was gonna bring
Because
that up. I was curious if you were gonna be playing with that interaction using the
yeah,
IP plus the Underworld
mm,
Goddess.
yes, that's coming soon. This deck because you really just spam bodies so easily. She's gonna be super free to bring out. Um, so this list will change slightly. I might, I don't really go into the Zeus that much, but when it comes up, it does. It's a big pop off and big payoff. So it's still some tinkering to go wrong with that, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
That's fair enough. The Link Spider here is obviously just to accelerate your Hakaru and Conquistador for the grave.
Right, right.
And then the Unchained Abomination. Um, Again,
Uh,
this is just a powerhouse of a card, being able to pop multiple cards, especially when you're combining it with Conquistador, with the Surzeal.
exactly, bro. So this guy is just a hoss. I can't say enough. He's just a demon to deal with. Especially against Rogue. I mean, he really just puts in complete work. Can't say enough good things about him.
Onto the side deck, some interesting choices here with two Alpha, despite not playing any other beasts like Zulich does. Is this just to play around Dragoon matchups, pretty much?
Yeah. So my mentality, I have some hand traps on my list, but I really prefer to break your board with actual bodies than try to prevent your board, if that makes sense. Like, basically, alpha is your your second and third Pankratops, which I got him
Of
beside him
course,
where.
yep.
But yeah, so that's basically the idea. So he's just exactly he can get rid of dragoons. He can just break down your board in the battle phase and really just force that grind game, that mid range battle I'm looking for. Um, So basically, just him and the Pankratops are just go second, like just powerhouses that really put in a lot of work.
Of course. And then obviously we got the one copy of GD Crow here. How come you're just playing one and not maxing out on it for the Drytron matchup?
It's really about space. You know, of course, the side deck is about what you play at locals and stuff. Um, so just having one more little interaction. He's cool. He comes up. Sometimes you really only want to take out the one card. It it's just an extra body, extra hand trap. Him and the three Nibiru, and then the three Imperm. Those are just about like I know I'm gonna play like a combo deck, and I really need to respect them. I'll bring those in. And a good time crow can just really put your opponent in a bad spot. The main, I mean, you could put more in if you're really like expecting, if you're really expecting Drytron, but the sideboard is really more for my locals.
That's fair enough. And obviously we have the three nib here for combo. One duster, triple twin. A card that a lot of people are getting rid of at the moment is Imperm. How come you're still playing it? Is it just because of your local scene?
Yeah, yeah, just try to have something for combo, just in case they're on something wild where I really need some effect negation. It's just a, I mean, it's a good hand trap. You can't really gamma it. You can't really use Herald on it. So just an extra little effect negation that, I mean, it's still not a bad card. I mean, even though it's not the best right now in the meta, it's still, I just want to have something against combo.
I guess it's also basically another droplets if you're against the vanities versions of
Hmm.
Drytrons if you really need to use it. And then
Right.
obviously the one reboot just to hate on back row even more.
Yeah, I'm on Twin at the moment because PK, not PK, Prank Kids. I call them PK because it's just funny. But just to be able to pop, they're usually gonna have one or two back row just to be able to get rid of that before I go into my main phase. And discarding is fine in my deck. Like I don't mind discarding like an Eldlich trap or something or Eldlich to get that engine going, preemptively.
Yeah, no, that is completely fair. So, you said you've also got a combo video for us, just to
Yeah,
show one of the lines for it. So,
go ahead and yeah, skip through
yeah.
there. It'll
So, in this, we see that you need uh, home and obviously a discard,
right. And
and
then
then the Evil Eye domain. So, if you just want
so
to run us through this. So,
so so basically you also can do this combo as long as you find like Cersio or Domain, you can do it the same way. You just find the other card. So yeah, so you're gonna start with the home, and I normally summon Kiss a Kill first, but it doesn't really matter that much. And you'll find the other twin, and then you'll go ahead and play that domain, and you'll search out the Cersio and summon him, and he's gonna find the familiar. So normally you'd think, okay, just find the equip card and rock and roll, right? But what you're gonna do is you're gonna use that Basilius as a body and a way to search your equip card. So his effect is to dump the Selene to the grave for us, and then we're gonna start with Kiss a Kill and use her effect to bring back the Lilla, and then the Lilla and Basilius will link off into the evil Lilla, and then her effect will pop your own field spell. And then that's going to actually serve two purposes. You're going to add back the Basilius, and it's also going to be your fodder for your Selene and Graveyard. So Selene and Graveyard, you banish your Evil Eye card, and you pay 1,000, and you set it onto your field. So then you'll just put that on your Cerzio, obviously, and then you'll link those off into Kiss a Kill. The reason why you do that is so you have the Lilla in the graveyard, and then during your opponent's turn, you can bring her back with the Kiss a Kill and have an additional pop.
yeah,
So
so
basically,
on
so
this, so
basically, go ahead.
you've got two pops on here, and you've got an amount of recursion with the Basilius as well.
Yeah, you get your discard back, and then you still have two other cards. That could be Eldlich cards, or if one of those other cards were an Evil Eye card, you can actually just search the counter trap instead. That way you end on a counter trap. So if you open up, basically, if you open up one of the other Evil Eye cards, you just search the one you're missing, to find the counter trap. If that makes sense. So they have some
Course.
pretty interesting lines of play from there.
I mean, it's also, if you wanted to, you could also swap out this Kiss a Kill for the Unchained Abomination as well, if you wanted to.
Well, here's the thing. So you're really gonna with this, you're with home, it's gonna lock you into the twins. But you can summon Abomination on the next turn extremely easily because you're gonna have so many bodies. You're gonna be able to bring back Lilla, and you're gonna have the free summon of Basilius. And then it's just easy to go into them from there. Um, so the thing about home, it does lock you into the twins on turn one, but you get a lot of value off of it, and you thin your deck out really fast because you're taking out so many cards, and so you're just really just going to draw into gas from then on.
No, that's completely fair enough. Well, thank you for coming on here with me. I'll put Chinstrap's link in the description to his channel if you guys want to go subscribe. He does put out some pretty good content, I must say. I've checked out a couple of your videos.
Yeah, it's pretty lit. We got some more stuff to come. I really appreciate you having me on the channel. Yeah, just if you can, just subscribe to both channels. I'm Team Decksmith. Me and my roommate, we make some cool stuff. We have a lot of goat content and on the way, and we have a lot of Master Rule 5 stuff as well. So yeah,
Cool.
like, subscribe, comment.
Yep. As he said, guys, please like, please subscribe. Well, thank you, Chinstrap, for joining me here.
No problem, man.
I'll catch you guys later.